Well, joined by the legend Brett Lee himself, and Brett, incidentally, is in England, and he's part of the Australia champions for the World Championship of Legends. And Brett, the Australian Legends, is playing as good as the Australian team that you were part of, playing like the world champions.
Thank you. Good morning. Yeah, look, it's obviously been a wonderful week for us. After that loss against Pakistan, and then to have 3 wins on the trot was fantastic. So we're starting to find some form.
Well, the Australians look as fit as they were while you were playing international cricket. What's the secret behind that?
I think that we're just, obviously professionals trying our hardest to make sure that we, get to the sort of team environment and come prepared. And that's a thing. Everyone does a terrific job. Everyone's come in this tournament looking to win and have some fun doing it.
Were you surprised at the way the Indians played last night?
Oh, look, I think India have got a great side. They've got a wealth of knowledge. You've got a heap of experience. But at sort of at the end of the day, the way that we batted, I think in that first innings, I think around about the 14 over mark, we're about 112, and for us to get up to 199, to have 200 for the chase for India, I think it was probably too many for them.
The Pakistanis are playing pretty good as well. They have a few players who are still playing competitive cricket.
Yeah, and that's the thing that these different sides that we're up against the different countries. There are a lot of players that are still playing competitive cricket, and that's why the standard's so good. That's why the tournament is a success, is because of the standard of cricket and the caliber of players that we're up against. So look, we don't try and look too far ahead. We're certainly enjoying it. The thing that I love about the Aussie cricket team is that we've known each other. Most of us have played together. There's a couple of guys in the team that I haven't had the chance to play with before, so to call them teammates, obviously you respect their relevant careers and what they've achieved, but to have teammates and have new teammates is very, very exciting.
And the last month had the World T20 and India winning a World Cup in T20 after 17 years. Before the tournament, did you give India the chance to win the cup?
Oh, look, I think everyone knew that India had a fantastic side. I mean, if you have a look at their batting lineup, firstly, they've got guys that bat right down the top of the order. They go out and bang them. They've got that middle order power, and they've got guys at the end that can whack them and get that score up to 200 in a T20 match. But for me personally, it's the likes of a Jasprit Bumrah. He leads the attack. He's absolutely
Yeah.
world class. I think he's probably the best bowler in the world currently in most formats. So for him to have a wonderful tournament, but it wasn't just the wickets he took. I think he took about 15 wickets, I think, for the tour. It was his economy, and he led the side. He's definitely, as I said, world class. And congratulations to India.
How would you rank him now in modern day cricket? And I'm not saying that you rank him across formats in all time, but in the last 20 odd years, do you think Bumrah ranks there among the top ones?
Definitely in any era, mate. And I'm okay to rank him in any era, because you have to go on the person's style. You have to go on what they bring to the table. Someone like a Jasprit Bumrah can shape the new ball away. He's got good pace. He's still quick. He can bowl that line length in Test match cricket. But then you throw in the white ball. He can open the bowling. But then if you try to close out the death, you've got guys chasing, 12, 13 and over at the end in T20 cricket. And he bowls that searing Yorker. I mean, it's almost impossible to play. So world class in any era. I've really enjoyed watching his career unfold. I've had the pleasure to work and commentate and broadcast on a lot of his overs that he's bowled in his career in the last sort of 7 to 10 years.
Has he attained his peak, or is the best yet to come?
The best is yet to come. He's like Benjamin Button, getting better with age.
Also, a tricky situation for the captains, Brett, with bowlers like you and Jasprit Bumrah. How do you use those 4 overs? How do you use them in the power play? Do you keep them for the mid overs? Do you keep them for the last overs? Rohit actually created that situation well for him.
Yeah, he did. Look, I think Rohit Sharma is a terrific captain. I think he knows his players very well. He understands his players. He understands what he's trying to achieve from all of his teammates. But the greatest thing with a guy like a Jasprit Bumrah is that he can bowl 2 up front. He can bowl 1 through the middle, and then he can bowl 1 to death. So normally on a general rule, you say to your fast strike bowlers, have one or two up front. If they get tapped first over, then they might go, okay, we might go take the pace off the ball. We might go a spin option, maybe one in the first six. But a general rule is two up front, one through that middle, and one at the death, or two up front and then two at the death. And he can definitely bowl four at the death straight if he wanted to. So he can evolve. He can, you know, in any challenging situation, he just stands up.
Brett, we've seen this with the Australians as well. Batsmen can win you games. They're very entertaining, but it's the bowlers who win you the tournaments. And I think we've seen this with the Indians this time as well.
Yeah, correct. That has often been said from batters. Batsmen have often said that they, win you games and stuff, but it's the bowlers that win you the tournaments. Generally you're trying to defend. Sometimes totals around that 165, 170 mark, but collectively it's got to be a team effort. And bowlers can only do what they want and what they can on that particular day. The batsmen that get that big total, like the Aussie guys have been doing recently, in our tournament, they've been getting big scores. Guys like Aaron Finch, Shaun Marsh getting us off to great starts. We've got that depth and that power through the middle order. So us to get scores of over 200, it allows the bowlers to have more freedom. We can then attack because the batsmen on the other side are trying to get their runs quickly, which create chances for us.
Brett, last two questions. You've known Indian cricket very closely. You played with them. You played against them. You've been in India for a number of years now, commentating, working with the cricketers. Potentially, there are two more ICC tournaments, the Champions Trophy and possibly a crack at the World Test Championship final, which may see India-Australia yet again in a year's time. Sunil Gavaskar said that the Indian team was going through a phase which was akin to batsmen going through the nervous 90s. You get out at 92, 93, 94, 98, 99, till you get a century. And that was what was happening with the Indians in the ICC tournaments. I mean, till you got another title. So he feels now that the burden is gone and maybe there are more titles to come.
Oh, definitely. Look, I think it's a psychological barrier sometimes. Batsmen getting out in the 90s, bowlers getting fourfer, can't get that fifer mark because it's that milestone. Or a team getting so close to winning. I look at nations like South Africa that get so close and then just fall apart at the sort of back end. They can't get that trophy, from a cricketing point of view anyway. But India were probably pigeonholed and put in that category. But now that they have proven that they can win titles, they've proven that they can dominate in the test arena, they've proven they can dominate in the one-day sort of setup. Hopefully for them now that the pressure is off and they can just go out there and enjoy their cricket. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to having a well-balanced side. India have got that. And even though that a few players are now moving on, 3 players have hung their boots up from the T20 format. It's the young guys that are going to come through now and the next generation of players.
And you've seen them closely during the IPL. Do you think Indian cricket is going to be in safe hands?
Absolutely. Definitely safe hands. And in safe hands because of the product and the way that they've left the game. These superstars of world cricket, you've your Kohlis of the world, the Rohit Sharmas of the world, they've left the game of cricket in a much better state than when they found it. And that's all you try and do as an athlete. You try to find a way to add your little spice on what you can offer in the team environment. Try and pass on your knowledge, and they've definitely done that. So now it's up to the next young players coming through, the likes of Surya Kumar Yadav, Sky. Even though he's not young, he's been around the setup now for quite some time. He's the next big thing in Indian cricket, in my opinion. So it's over to him now.
Thank you so much, Brett. बहुत शुक्रिया आपका.
आपसे मिलकर खुशी हुई. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.